Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, July the 22nd. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap up. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And we are having a big day. Some news came out. It pushed the pound dollar up. You can see here we are 176 pips above the weekly open, 23 off the high, now 21, and 180 off the low. Looking at the daily, you can see we broke out of the opening range high for the week here. And we are 1,484 pips below the yearly open. And we've got one full trading week left here. As you can see, we also broke above the inside bar from 2 days ago. That high was 2036. We've got a high of 2063. So inside bar traders were rewarded if they took profit. For the day, the range is at 148. You can see here we broke above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see, 6. We broke above a bunch of these daily highs here today. Actually, we even broke above, or we stopped maybe right at this one. So you can see it's been a pretty big day. Right now, the red rats are feasting. We'll come up to that in a moment. Buy zone traders, if you traded the daily open crossover here at the double O, you were rewarded. That was huge. That would have been worth approximately 60 pips or so if you wrote it. As I just mentioned, the red rats are starting to feast here. We'll see. We've got this huge return bar on M15. We'll see what happens. That was all news. In fact, we're at R1. The bias is short. Bambino flex indicator indicated going long at the pivot, going long. And you can see here at 1962, price took off. That would have been a possible 100 pip trade. Pivot, we took out the daily pivot. And we've already taken out the weekly. And we're 205 pips below that monthly pivot. In and out of the upper and lower wick zones, you can see here. That lower wick zone escaped at 1975. Would have been worth a bucket, or actually a couple of bushels of pips had you taken that trade. Once again, simple horizontal line trades. The range for the week is only 203. I was looking to see possibly that this week's range would have been closer to the 300 level, but the day's not over. Who knows what could happen? 27 off the high, 102 off the, I'm sorry, high minus previous high, we had a breakout of 27 pips. Low minus previous low, we had a breakout of 102 pips to the downside there. Again, high minus close 29, close minus low 175. Buy zone traders, high minus open 199, open minus low only 3. So you can see there was a lot of action, but we have a compressed range, but we did break out of the weekly, so we're not going to have an inside bar on the weekly. We put a 3 ball on the top here, looking at the Walmart lines here. 3 ball on the top. You can see though this hour it broke the 40, hit the 60, which once again the 40 is the launch pad, and it definitely launched. We're coming up to the bottom of the hour here, so we can switch over, take a quick look here at the M30 candles, and see what happens. I got a sneaking suspicion it might come back down to the double O. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. 94 pips the last hour. So far this hour, 35. And you can see the previous hours were over 30 for the last 8 hours here. Okay, looking at the highest, low, lowest high, you see we just had a trigger, that last M5 at 47, good for about 15 pips. Once again, horizontal line trades, just trading what we see in the moment. And here we go. It looks like we might break through here, coming back down towards that double O. For the month, let's see, did we push it? We've pushed it to 1989 accumulated range for the month. I'm sorry, for the year. Range for the month so far. Show range by month. 419 pips. Let's take a look at the ATR. So we've got 419. What's the ATR? 471. So we're still a little light. We'll have to see what happens. Okay. Okay, year-to-date high, low, close minus open. Let's see, close minus year-to-date open percent. So we're down 11% for the year so far. And just looking at the close minus the open, you can see 150, we're red. And it looks like it's pretty much a toss-up here. And so far, we've only had one green month this year, and that was May. And just looking here at the monthly, 148 below the open. We're inside that lower wick zone for the previous month. For a while there, we weren't. Monthly's definitely turning down. We're below the previous mid. We're below the pivot. It's saying fade the pivot 2242. Yeah, so lower high, lower low. And that's what it's looking like. Back to this M30, you see we're at the psychological 25 level. And, oh, let's see. Let me change this back. I didn't save that change. Let's put this on current. On the smart ranger, so we're at 9 pips, and you can see here it's usually better than 20. So we'll just have to see what happens. It looks like it's coming off of that psychological 25. It came back across that the open at 2030.5, and it went up to 33. So if you took that little trade there was a time to take a couple of pips. Let's see if they this is all reaction to that news release. I think it wants to come back to the double O. I could be wrong. In fact, I think it was yesterday we were talking, and I think when we made the video we were about here, and yeah, and I was thinking it might come back to the double O, but as you can see it crossed the 90 and it just tanked. So I don't exactly remember where we made the video, but I think I do remember saying something about I think it wants to hit the 2000. It did later in the day, but not then. I definitely went the other way first. There was just a whole lot of price action happening here. And so just, playing the numbers, we got 42 pips on the hour so far. And, will it expand or will it just meander? But looking here, we've got 12 pip range. So it looks like this M30's got some room to grow at least another 8 pips. So maybe look for it to drop down to 2010 or so. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. And here we see we got a 1 ball put in, but we've got this huge return bar right here. So look for price to come at least to the halfway point of the return bar. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, though. That's what you have to do in trading. And one thing, we were talking about limits, and I was talking with Walmart earlier, and I realized something that, one of my biggest problems is I rush the trade. I jump in too early. I said, I realized something that if I was a drag racer, I would be red lighting every time. So I'm going to kind of keep that in the front of my mind and think I'm waiting at the drags. I've got to wait. I can't be, jumping the gun. Just, rely on my reaction time as opposed to trying to, guess and jump in. It's like, no, let's wait for a clear signal before we make that entry. So for right here, everything's telling me to look for shorts because of that 3 ball, but this 1 ball goes, nope, you need to wait for a short signal to actually get short. And I really don't want to trade against that 3 ball down here, even though you could have taken this trade off of the 1 ball. But if you do something like that, you better be really quick about it. If you're going against it, even though it's saying a long bias here, and we do have a nice range. We've got 42 pip range here. So there is movement. We've moved 15 pips off of that lower 1 ball. So there is, possibility to take some profit there. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So I haven't seen any questions lately. Well, actually, I just had a request. A trader wanted me to convert a MT4 indicator into MT5, and just to repeat myself, I hate MT5. I really hate MT5. I'm not going to code in MT5. If they got rid of MT4 and all there was MT5, I think my coding days would probably just be over. I just dislike MT5 that much. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. So anyway, fellow traders, and that's pretty much it for the week. I hope you've had a profitable week. I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. And Walmart kidded with me yesterday after we did the video. He goes, "You showed your age because you called it a trading terminal." He says most kids don't even know what a terminal is. They call it the screen, trading screen, because they're using their phone or their laptop or their tablet. So next time you sit in front of your trading screen, always remember and never forget. It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.